From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, May 19th, 2015. Silver is trading at $17.53 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,221 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $234. Antiwar.com reports the authorization for use of military force for the war against the Islamic State, which has been raging for 9 months now, has still not been brought to a vote, and the recent indications are it probably never will be. Representative Adam Schiff of California said the snag is there is no real political will or interest in doing this, saying no vote on the war would be a terrible precedent. Yet that seems to be where things are headed, as the White House unveiled its proposed AUMF bill and quickly alienated most of the public by saying it was deliberately vague to allow them to expand the war at will. In the lead up to last November's election, there was little interest in a politically volatile vote, and now that the war has been going on so long, most of the Republican leadership, which supports the war at any rate, seems to see no need to put anything on paper. For over 35 years, Robertson Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. UPI reports President Obama announced federal standards to improve trust between police and communities and a ban on some types of military equipment for local police agencies. Obama spoke on the measures Monday in Camden, New Jersey, a city that has struggled with one of the country's highest violent crime rates. A blueprint for improved community policing was announced that will help cities and towns develop policing strategies that work best for building trust between law enforcement and the communities they serve while enhancing public safety. Obama pointed to work Camden has done to grow trust between the city's residents and its police force and a subsequent drop in violent crime, murder, and open-air drug markets. The White House will attempt to create improved methods of using data and technologies in ways to build community trust and reduce unnecessary uses of force. The Department of Justice recently announced a new program that will help law enforcement agencies implement the use of body-worn cameras on officers, which will be further supported by the White House. Tools cities can utilize will be presented as part of the Task Force on 21st Century Policing program that can be used to build and maintain the all-important trust between the law enforcement officers and the communities they have sworn to serve and protect. Meanwhile, the White House announced a list of items that are banned from being acquired by local police under select federal programs. The list includes tracked armored vehicles, weaponized aircrafts and vehicles, bayonets, grenade launchers, and large-caliber firearms. During his speech in Camden, Obama said, "We've seen how militarized gear sometimes gives people a feeling like they're an occupying force as opposed to part of a community they're there to protect. Some equipment made for the battlefield is not appropriate for local police departments." Under more rigorous control, law enforcement agencies will still be able to acquire armored vehicles, tactical vehicles, riot gear, and specialized firearms and ammunition. In Survivor Max by Davi Barker, 11-year-old Max must survive the zombie apocalypse alone in New Hampshire. Slow-moving and non-thinking, the lame brains swarm his home searching for living flesh. Max must apply his Porcupine Freedom Scouts training to plan his escape, but first he must prove that he's too smart to die. Look for Survivor Max on Facebook and Amazon, or read Chapter 1 free at survivormax.com. Reuters reports 4 passengers on the Amtrak commuter train that derailed in Philadelphia last week filed a federal lawsuit on Monday against the rail service. The lawsuit filed in Philadelphia cited serious and disabling injuries from the May 12th derailment that killed 8 people and injured more than 200 others. Nearly a week after the derailment, it remains a mystery what caused the train to accelerate from 70 miles per hour to 106 miles per hour in a minute before the crash. Authorities have not yet ruled out equipment malfunction, human error, or other possible reasons for the train gaining speed so rapidly. This lawsuit appears to be the first filed by a non-employee of Amtrak. Last week, an Amtrak employee who was riding the train as a passenger filed the first lawsuit, citing a brain injury he suffered in the crash. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.